Hello and welcome to my channel if you are new. My name is Paige and welcome back if you are returning. Before I get started on the zodiac readings, I want to touch base with the current energy that we are in, as today is July 6th and I have just returned from being in the mountains for a few days visiting family and spending time with my grandson, which always opens me up to a lot more in-depth messages for myself and for collective energy. So I wanted to just speak on first I want to speak on the full moon in Capricorn, which I did kind of break down a little bit in a previous video. If you want to check out that energy, that video is on my channel, full moon in Capricorn energy. So we had experienced that through the week, and we're still in this energy, as well as from July 4th opened up this window, this opening, this window of opportunity, a portal, some call it portals, with the sun in a conjunction or together with the sun's twin, the star Sirius, as well as Mercury. So they're all in a conjunction at 14 degrees of Cancer. This is very powerful energy, as the ancients and the Egyptians considered Sirius to be the goddess Isis. Many other cultures have many rituals and teachings and understandings of the star Sirius as being our main sun, or our sun's sun, which it is actually way larger than our sun. And this energy coincides with this portal as well. We're in a universal 7-year cycle. For any of you who follow numerology, you understand that the number 7 is the philosopher and the seeker. This is also right in alignment with many spiritual awakenings, which we all think, oh, I'm awake, you have an awakening, and that's it. No, we're constantly waking up to new realizations, in-depth realizations about ourselves. So from July 4th to the 8th, there's this giant window, and as I'm doing this video, today is July 6th, of this 777 portal. Our timelines are changing very fast. Time is rapidly moving. And this universal year, if you're not understanding the universal year, you take 2023, 2023, add them together, and it comes to a number 7. So we're in a universal 7-year cycle, speaking. This brings our focus inward more so than ever before. This is very sacred. This is very spiritual energy. And I want to speak on the sacred because as we get a deeper understanding of ourselves as a human, ourselves as a soul, as a spirit in a human body, we begin to understand what mechanisms are operating within ourselves, and understanding that we have both light and dark. And what we've been experiencing, especially over the last few years, is really bringing out the light and the dark, because you have to have both, the world of duality. So when the light comes out, so does the dark. But to embrace, to go within, to understand when we're triggered, when we're hurt, it brings out a darkness within us that either wants to seek revenge, even if it's just inward, like I hope that something like this happens to that person so that they understand how I feel. Whatever it is for you, I mean, it can go, we can completely throw our conscience out the window and get really dark. So this is an opportunity for us all to know thyself, understand all of the facets of ourselves and how we are all connected and tied in together in more ways than one, more ways than 10, many, multiple ways. I have been listening to a lot of Caroline Mace. She is an amazing teacher, intuitive, she worked as a medical intuitive for many years, but she's a best-selling author, and her book, Defying Gravity, is phenomenal. I've been listening to that audio version of that, just reminding me of many different things, because the darkness is showing itself. The darkness is showing itself for all of us to see within ourselves and collectively throughout the world, more and more and more. It's important to look at it, to not push it away, to not run from it, to not try to positive think your way out of it. There's a lot of new age and spiritual teachings that have us only looking at things, and I do this too. I tend to speak in energy, but really we want to look deeper into what is spiritual, what is sacred, what is a sacrament. The darkness is showing itself. It's important to look at it. Like I said, look at it within ourselves. Know ourselves, the dark and the light. Because we're not really sick by what's been done to us. The trauma, sure, something's done to us, that trauma memory lives in the body. But we're sick because of, and this is Carolyn's words, the bullets in our own pockets. The deep revenge in our dark crevices that come out to the light of consciousness when we are triggered by the divine itself, by source energy, God, whatever it is that speaks to you. Words, I have a hard time with words, but we all understand that there is a much stronger, higher, bigger mechanism of the source of all, which is connected to our hearts. It's connected to our physical bodies. And I will start speaking more sacred words through my channelings. They continuously come out, and as I have been away, especially with the children, and I got to see baby cubs, they walk by. You know, that's usually a scary thing. Of course, I was on a paddleboard. I was on the lake, so I wasn't really threatened by the bears, but it was just amazing the amount we had an eagle come down and a hawk come. When I say come down, I'm talking swoop right in front of us. My son, myself, it's speaking to us. Nature, earth speaks to us, not just me, not just those of us who understand that we have shamanistic bloodlines within us, but all of us live and share this earth and breathe the same air. We all need the same basic needs: water, air, food, shelter, love, connection. So within that, to understand how the divine source energy is always guiding us, is always speaking to us the best way possible in whatever level of consciousness that we are in, at wherever a level of consciousness we are at that time. So it's different for everybody, their experiences, their guidance, their inner guidance, the guidance through the signs and synchronicities and things that you see outside of yourself. But it's important to connect the two, connect the feelings and sensations you receive inside from whatever may be showing itself outside of you. The divine is always trying to reach us, and it can only reach us where our consciousness level is at. But even if we lose consciousness, which we do at times as humans, we either lose consciousness completely and just numb ourselves out, and there are reptilian channeled thoughts and beliefs and darkness can get in. And it's also speaking to the darker sides of us. Even when we are in that state, the divine, spirit, source, God will never give up on us. Even when we lose conscious and choose the darker path, it's a little difficult to receive the messages when we are fixated on something else. And this is another part of, again, if you would like to listen to Caroline, especially with the defying gravity. I think there's a few videos also on YouTube that will suffice, but there's a book, an amazing book. Where was I going with that? Because this is all inward with this portal especially. I did write notes, but I was all over the place here. We did experience 2 X-class solar flares a few days ago. For any of you who are very, very sensitive to the solar activity, wondering what the heck is going on now, 2 pretty powerful X-class solar flares last week, and we're still getting M-class solar flares as I speak now. Some of my experiences, I woke up the other morning to, and a lot of times in my dreams, it feels like I'm in a boardroom or in a meeting, and I'll wake up and have words coming out of my mouth, and so that I can reflect on. It's quite interesting. I wake up to certain channelings for myself. And 2 mornings ago, or yesterday morning, I woke up to understand your attachment style. We all have a specific attachment style or attachment as we relate to others, and it does goes back to our experience from childhood, from our parents and caregivers. So I took my guidance and started to read about it a little bit, and there was a quiz for me to take, so I took a quiz, and this is all like within psychology, but I found that my attachment style was anxious avoidant when it comes to intimate relationships, and that attachment style has it's hard to trust. It's hard to trust that others have our best interest in mind at times, or all the time. You know, that's not like all the time, but like, can you always trust that those that you are in intimate connection with will have your best interest? Well, you know, I'm so used to it being a no that, and that's maybe a good thing, because I'm not really looking out for others to have my best interest. I need to have my own best interest. But I think that because we're talking about close interpersonal and intimate connections with others, that's definitely something that I've had to take a deeper look at for myself, because I do have very close connections to people, but those that had been the most intimate had been my biggest teachers, put it that way. And then as I was driving home yesterday, which is about a 3-hour drive for me, I basically went through this whole spirit, the divine took me through this whole channeling of my ancestral line, my father, my grandfather, and mostly on the father's. No, we did both sides, to remember and recognize that I'm just going to specifically talk on my father's side, that the men in my family were all in a war of some sort. My grandfather in World War II, my father in Vietnam, and you know, it goes down the generational line. So that definitely causes some ancestral trauma and patterning that's developed. And I do understand quantum physics, and there are actually scientific studies nowadays that will prove this, with lab mice and whatnot, that we have this biotechnical patterning within us, even if we didn't experience the trauma ourselves, that because it's in the bloodline, it's in the blueprint, it's in the energetic blueprint of our bodies, we have these illogical fears that develop because of something that had happened through the bloodline. And it could be, passed down from generation to generation, energetically. And it taught me a lot about myself and my relationships to life, my relationship to myself, the way that I think of myself and my lineage. And it really took me in depth. I'm talking 3-hour drive here. So some of you may be experiencing these deep inner reflections. Pluto in retrograde, Neptune in retrograde, Saturn in retrograde. So I'm going to pull some cards. I'm going to pull a card for us all. I don't want to make this a long video, but I did want to point out the energy that we are in right now. The 7, the number 7. I'm going to read from the Oracle of the 7 energies. This year 7, and that we are actually embarking on 777 tomorrow. I'm reading this on July 6th. Tomorrow is July 7th. Big opening for us to make great changes and great realizations for ourselves and our life path. And I feel like we're all here to really clear and heal some ancestral trauma patterns, not only for ourselves, but when we begin to heal it within ourselves and clear that away, we're like, I understand now. Understanding ourselves a little bit better and our family, it energetically has a ripple effect for others. I strongly believe that, only because it's been shown to me, it's been proven to me in my life experience. So let's read from the Oracle of the 7 energies. Okay. Very fitting card to come out. Into me, I see. Intimacy. Into me, I see. Beautiful. It's a number 8. I was going to say, if a number 7 card comes out, I'd have the chills already, though. It was beautiful. All right. And this card is all about intimacy. Trusting others. Ironically, and I know when I have these experiences, when I have these deep, I am guided by a higher source, and I get really hyper-focused into them. I know I'm not the only one that's having those experiences. Actually, I know for a fact I'm not, because when I got home, a friend had called me, and I had told her my experience driving home. She said, oh my God, I've had the exact same, not the exact same realization, but the same trip down memory lane of ancestral patterning. Okay. As well as understanding our attachment style. Which is, that's not anything everybody needs to understand, I don't believe, but I'm really getting into, all right, I'm being told to read from the book now. Okay, at certain precious moments, you're called into a deep and meaningful connection with the world or another person. A magical affinity arises with the kind of intimacy that in turn encourages a greater understanding of yourself. The relationship acts as a mirror, helping you see your own patterns. What it reflects about you can further your own personal evolution. Now is the time to take a risk by connecting with another. Can you see how far you've come? Can you see what is still active within you that needs to change or heal? You will discover more about who you are as you discover more about another. Even if you cannot possibly know what it's truly like to be in someone else's shoes, you can listen and learn. This is a magical gift being offered to you right now. This concept applies beyond romantic connection. What do the dynamics in your closest friendships, work relationships, and family say about you? Relationships are extraordinary opportunities for healing. When predicated on honesty and caring, they have a great impact on how you contribute to the world. Intimate relationships hold up a mirror of truth and reveal more treasures than you might ever expect. If you can look into it, take a risk, and see everything as beautiful, even in its imperfections, imagine how deep you could go. So I feel like I don't need to go any further into reading anymore. This card spells it all out as far as what I had just divulged from my own journey in the past 5 days or so, and the energy of the 7-year cycle, and 777 portal, window of opportunity to truly get to know yourself, trust others, allow others to see into you, you see into them, and form a much stronger connection. We need these connections. This earth, this world, humanity needs more and more of these intimate connections. And intimacy, not speaking on just romantic, like it said, it's not just romantic or sexual connections. These are deep soul contracts, deep soul connections. That is what I have for us for this week. And I encourage everyone to take a deeper look inside. Don't be afraid. I've heard a lot of people say, I am afraid. I know I need to look at it, but I'm afraid. Don't be afraid. There's nothing to be afraid. You are being guided to go within, deeply within. And a lot of truth will be revealed. It is very humbling, I won't lie. But the rewards of that are liberating, freeing, and really allowing you to get a closer connection to yourself, to the divine, and to others. So that is the message I have for us all this week. I wish you all a happy, prosperous deep dive within, and I'm sending you out so much love. Take care. Bye.